Welcome to Living Local After Dark. I am your host, Sharice Gomez. It is Friday night, so you know what that means. We're talking what a week in pop culture, and every week I feature an amazing guest of the DMV who knows and has their finger to the pulse of pop culture, and tonight's guest definitely has their finger on the pulse. He is the creator of Toast to the Hustle, COO of Creative Legacy, multimedia personality, entrepreneur. I'm talking about the real HJT, Hassan Thomas.
Hi.
How are you?
Hi, sister. How are you?
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, too.
Long time no see.
I
came in the studio. Hassan was like, girl, you got knocked up?
I said, do you have something there?
This is a basketball. I just keep a little back. Just in case you got a hoop.
Right,
in the middle of the
exactly.
day,
Just keep it right up under there.
Keep it right up under
Right.
the dress.
I
just want to make sure you like, do you like basketball? Just in case. I have one right
That's
here.
right. You can give it to me.
Just in case. Just in
But
case.
you are beautiful, and congratulations,
Thank you
Mama.
so much,
Absolutely.
friend. I appreciate it. Well, I had to bring you on after dark because we have more time to really discuss things.
Yes.
But I'd love to get your opinion on all things pop culture.
Okay.
And tonight we're going to start at home because we had a lot of fun. I know I had a lot of fun because the R&B tour stopped in the DMV.
Yes, it did.
And Chris Brown and Usher, I'm a huge Usher fan. The people know.
Me too.
But who isn't? Who
All
isn't?
right.
But Chris Brown and Usher, their tour has become one of the hottest conversations in music. Quite frankly, the spiciest conversation because not just because of the performances, but because the viral moments surrounding them. And we're talking about Dave Chappelle popping up.
Yes, the first night.
Yeah, the first night in the DMV. But also, we have to recap some of the tour stops. There's been online debates about wives participating in some of these spicy on-stage shall I say sex reenactments?
Reenactments?
And should married women be participating in them? But also, we are seeing viral videos of babies and children being brought to the concerts. So I have to get all of your opinions on all of this, and I know you have some, but let's start with, did you attend?
Well, not just a 10, but I worked the tour, the R&B tour. Yes, I was working doing VIP logistics, handling all of the VIPs, the meet and greets for Chris, for Mario, and different things like that. Yeah,
Nice. And it was so nice to see Mario on stage.
it was
hear his
Mario,
voice.
Tank, and
Yes.
Eric Bellinger. Like that is such a crazy. Like I've never
serious
heard
R&B
of an
tour.
artist having like actually artists that we know who are A-listers in their own right to be their backgrounds. Like that's G for me.
I
Like
love
Chris
it.
is the G for that.
I love
In order
it.
to get Tank, Mario, and Eric, that's crazy.
And I love that they were humble enough to oblige because
especially Tank. Like oh my
all
God.
of them are
Yeah,
huge
yeah.
talents, can do a concert on their own.
for
But
sure.
all that talent on stage, I screamed so much. And I was there with my husband. He was like, "You doing a lot of screaming." I'm like, calm down.
Calm down.
Let me
Listen,
live.
that's how I got like this.
This is
okay?
exactly
So
how
let
we
me,
got
Let me
here,
thank them
okay?
by thanking you. But
Exactly. This is how all these babies are here.
Right.
So I have to ask you, I know you probably can't answer this question.
Okay.
But are you team Chris Brown or team Usher? Or equal opportunity?
Please. Oh, girl, I got you. I am Team Usher. Listen, I still rock 90s music like it just came out yesterday, okay? I'm 28, but I do have an old soul, so I love me some Usher,
Yes.
you know what I mean? I love Chris Brown, right? I love
Yes.
his artistry. I mean, just watching him in rehearsals that I can't speak about, watching rehearsals, his hard work, his acumen, how he won't finish or let nobody go home or in rehearsals until he has things to the T, and I'm sure
I'm not
most
mad
artists
at
does
it.
that, but I've been able to get a close watch up of that, and it's just paramount. You know what I mean? To catch it in real time. But I love Usher, just his music. Like, I'm really jumping for him in
Yes.
a sense more than Chris, of course.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Chris.
Breezy.
But you know what? I feel like Chris Brown would also say that he's a Usher fan, obviously,
Oh,
too.
yes, for
And
sure.
it's different generations, but also similar to you. I grew up on Usher from his first album in '94, and I was a
Yes.
tot. I was a tot, but my sister played it, and I loved it from the beginning. It was a self-titled album, and then 8701, you name it. It's just that old school R&B
the old school.
feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Chris Brown is a whole other category, and everybody always says he's MJ incarnate. That's a whole other
That's
conversation.
a whole
but
nother conversation, yeah.
Dude, I just
But
had
he
to figure
paid, and he pays homage to
Yes.
Usher. You know what I mean? That kind of like almost in a sense ushered him in. And it's funny because he came out in '94 and Usher was 15, and then 10 years later, which is a coincidence, that's when when Brown came out in '04. You know what I mean?
When he was
'94 to '04. So yeah,
when he was a teenager.
When he was a teenager, so
Right.
it's like that's kind of like, oh my God. So they have such a beautiful story of how they've always, supported one another, loved upon each other, and things like that. So yeah,
Full circle, and both of them looking great on stage, must I say. But let's talk about this online debate, because
Okay.
I've talked to a few people about this. The show, shall I say, simulates sex.
Oh yeah, yes,
The night I went, we saw full Usher booty.
yes, okay,
Full Usher booty.
yes, yes,
I enjoyed it.
yes.
But Usher and Chris have mentioned it on stage that they're not pulling any more wives. And there was a viral situation where someone got divorced because they went on stage and danced with Chris Brown. They paid $20,000 for Usher tickets. The husband didn't know any of this.
Hold on, let's back up. How much did they pay?
$20,000.
$20,000.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Let's say allegedly, everybody.
That's tuition.
That's somebody's college tuition, okay?
Right.
That's somebody's college tuition. But we covered this story on Living Local DMV, and the woman paid $20,000 for tickets, and she went on stage. She danced with Chris Brown. The husband found out through social media.
Okay.
And filed for divorce. So Chris Brown and Usher have made a joke about it, saying we're not bringing any more wives on stage.
Oh my. So did he divorce her because of her dancing so much, or do you think it's more so because she paid that $20,000? Right.
$20,000.
I will probably divorce you too.
I'm usually not on the man's side, but if I see $20,000 missing from my bank account unbeknownst, we might be taking a trip to the courthouse.
Right, exactly. Like, good God Almighty.
But my question to you is, do you think taken women, married women, engaged women should be volunteering themselves to go up and dance on stage with Usher and Chris Brown?
I don't think there's a problem with it because it's entertainment. And we have to separate entertainment from what actually is. At the end of the day, these women know who they're coming home to. Well, at least that they should. And you should know that, listen, if my chick is out with her girlfriends or whatever, we'll just for the fun of it. It's a girls' night out. Usher, Chris Brown, they're both sex symbols in their own right. I mean, even Usher Brown, when he was on his tour doing his residency, putting cherries in girls' mouths.
Listen,
like it's a Sunday.
Yes.
Like, and they could have been married, engaged, or whatever it is, but it's a show. All right, now go back to your seat after we had this little moment.
Exactly.
Well, more so for you than for me.
Yes.
Because I'm the star. Then, go back to your seat. Go back to your seat and enjoy the rest of the show. That's it. So I don't think people should be getting divorced and feeling any kind of way or whatever, unless she's trying to jump into, bed with them, But
Well, spoken like a true confident man, and that's why I think it comes down to how confident are you in your relationship. Some people are saying, oh, it's disrespect, it's this, is that. But that's going to be a continued conversation. The other online debate was, we saw a viral video of a newborn or 6-month-old baby being taken to the concert because mom said, mom got to have fun too. She was breastfeeding in the stands.
Oh my God.
She had the baby's headphones on. I sent you the video. And people had some issues. There was also another kid who I believe was 8 or 10 years old who was on the floor seats. Now, there's the parenting police. I always say there's a parenting police on social media. Do you think there's a time and place to bring kids to things, or you say, you know what, parents pay for their tickets, they can do what they want, they should have a good time?
No, this is a 21 and over concert.
It is very mature.
It's a very mature of a certain age, type of show. Like, you should be bringing, whether they can
Rated R.
and process it or not, they still sing it. First of all, why are you bringing a 6-month-old? You know what I mean? Like, I can see if they're maybe 16, but even that's still young. No children allowed. This is literally, I'm surprised they got past security. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
I don't think security can say anything about it, because if you bought your ticket and your kid is in your lap, security's like, that's your parenting.
Right.
Yeah, that's your parenting.
That is very interesting to me. I would have never thought a person would do that. Like, what is the point of that? Unless she couldn't find a babysitter, then okay. But then, girl, you shouldn't be coming to the show. Just catch it on Instagram. Like,
listen, it's been almost 10 years since I've been to an Usher concert because life was happening. I was having kids and doing all these things. I'm like, this little bump's not stopping me from doing seeing the show now.
Right,
so I was in the air conditioned suites, and I was like, I'm safe up there. But I think it's a safety thing too, because we saw a fight break out one of the nights.
Yeah, fight. You don't know if people get extra because they're so excited and they're dancing
and liquored up.
Right, and liquored up. You know what I mean? You never know what may break out where you need to move and you can't move fast enough because you got a little one on your lap. So it's like, that is definitely putting yourself and the baby at risk. Yeah. Well, thumbs down to that.
You guys heard Hassan. He's given his disapproval stamp.
Disapproval.
Stamp of a disapproval. So my final question to you. They have a lot of tour dates left, all the way until the end of the year.
Yes.
Do you recommend attending the R&B tour?
I recommend it. I think that I've attended a lot of shows as a regular attendee and as for hire, and I will honestly say that Usher and Chris Brown are electrifying. They are electrifying from both sets. From I'm not going to give you too much, but just the music, the choices, because it's 57 songs in total, and it's 5 songs per person. They switch off, and then just the great flow of it, because you can't just play songs. You got to have a great flow into the next song, into the next song, into the next song, to create a experience of whatever that you're trying to do for your 10 minutes at a time. So absolutely.
I said the same thing. It's an experience.
They're
everybody.
entertainers.
Yes.
So like it's not like just a person who just sings, right? You know, no shade to anybody that just sing. But when you have an actual performer, like when we go see Beyonce, we're expecting not just to hear amazing vocals and her vocal ability, but to be captivated by her.
Dance,
and her sex appeal,
storytelling, yes.
All of that. Yeah, yeah. And they're very engaging. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a stamp of approval on the R&B tour.
Absolutely.
Hassan, please stick with us. We've got to pay a couple bills, but I still want to talk to you about a lot of things, including Time 100 releasing their 2026 content creators, top content creators of the year. You're watching Living Local After Dark. We will be right back. We're going to pay a couple bills. Welcome back to Living Local After Dark. I am back with Hassan Thomas. We've been having a good old time tonight. One thing I've talked a lot about on the daytime show, and we're talking a lot about how the world is slowly being influenced by influencers.
Yes.
And social media influencers largely, but podcast hosts, celebrities, you name it. But Time has released its 2026 Time 100 Creators List. And if you haven't heard about it, this list recognizes some of the most influential digital voices. So this is creators who continue to shape culture, trends, and even consumer behavior. And it raises some interesting questions about their impact and responsibility. And one thing that I'm really interested in talking about is the ethics and the responsibility of having millions of people trusting your voice.
Yes.
But let's dive into what this list says about influencer culture. So my first question to you.
Okay.
Are you pro-influencer? You yourself can be considered an influencer. What are your thoughts on influencers altogether?
I think that influencers, I think a lot of times people call themselves influencers because they have a lot of following, and which plays a part, but it's not the part. And I think what really makes you a great influencer is when you're able to really captivate an audience through engagement. When a person texts you, like I had a friend of mine that texted me, say, Hassan, I'm going to a brunch, or they was going somewhere, and they said, well, should I wear this or should I wear that? They was asking me a fashion tip because they know, obviously, well, you know, they know that I have some sense of I have fashion sense, and they trust my judgment on how to coordinate and things like that.
Influential.
Right. And that's influence when a person can ask you that type of questions. But I think what happens is people get so filled up with, oh, my following, and then they forget to actually do the work and connect with their audience. Not me. I don't have thousands and thousands and thousands of followers and things like that, but I know that I'm considered more of a micro influencer, but I'm still an influencer at the end of the day because I know that I have such an impact where I am motivating people. I am influencing. So the influence is just not on the return, but it's also on what you give into people. And then what solidifies it is when somebody returns it back with a question or with a compliment or whatever, but you still got to do the work in order for that to happen. And a lot of times people just sit back with their 30, 50,000 followers and think that's it. And that's no shade, it's just what it is. And I was just talking to a friend of mine who is an influencer for this Fortune 500 company, and I was like, listen, you got to go beyond that. You know what I mean? You got, what is the work that you're doing? What is the impact that you're setting on? And all these people that made it to this list, and I know I'm jumping the gun here, but these people that's made it, congratulations to all of them. But what are you actually doing? Like, for example, Drewski. Can we talk about Drewski?
Let's talk about it, yeah.
Him being on that list where it's like, I'm not a big fan of him. No shade to him, right? But I just heard things that he's done with coulda, shoulda,
coulda been records.
Coulda, woulda, coulda, whatever. But whatever.
That is shade, Hassan.
whatever
was
it
shade.
is, he knows what it is. And that's all that matters. But what I'm saying is that hearing how he has treated his people, You know, or even people like Stormy Wellington, how, you know, yes, she is teaching people how to become millionaires and blah, 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 but what are you doing along the process? You know what I mean? Because you're building people up, but you also have to maintain the relationship. Maintain the relationship and the trust between your audience, not just so much being condescending and just telling people what they should be doing or coming at them, but also creating some type of camaraderie of respect.
Yes.
That people will come back to you and not just come to you for one time
Yes.
and then go to the next person.
Yes.
So I know I said a lot, but that's.
No,
yeah.
I definitely appreciate you saying that, because I think it has a lot to do with your community, your culture,
Yeah.
but also your touch and your reach, and also being able to touch grass and touch other people. Because I was telling somebody recently, like, I don't have thousands upon thousands of followers, but when I go out into the community and people say, "Hey, Sharice, I saw a show," I like touching people and connecting with people. One
Yeah.
thing I was very open with, and I've noticed has become an influential lane for me, was talking to women, mothers who have dealt with miscarriages and pregnancy loss. And just having a couple of hundred women reach out to me in DMs, you may not see that publicly,
Right.
but it's a private connection, and I feel like I've built a community, and people have come and confided in me something so vulnerable. That feels like it means more to me than having an endorsement deal or millions of followers. So it's like you said, micro influencing, but being responsible with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that's really important I want to talk to you about. Do you think that influencers should be held to an ethical standard? Because we've seen where a Taylor Swift, a Beyonce, you name them, can sway elections. And we've seen where podcasters have swayed presidential elections. So you have to almost have some type of, not necessarily guardrails, but ethics, because if you can influence millions of people to vote one way or the other just by what you say on your Instagram account, that's very powerful.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very powerful. So what are your thoughts on influencers being held to an ethical standard?
So help me out, sis. When you say ethical standard, what do you mean specifically? I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I'm here.
Well, not necessarily, or they should set personal ethical standards. Like you have some celebrities who say, I don't even want to comment on politics because I don't want you to blindly, if I'm Beyonce and I blindly say, vote for Bunny Rabbit for president, and people do it just because I say it, I kind of just want to stay out of it, because I don't want people to vote just because they're so crazy fans of me.
Right.
And that's it.
I think that with influencers in general, because we look to them, I think we forget that they're still human and that they make mistakes, and that with my 20 million followers, I can still say something effed up. I know this is after dark, but
No, we can say effed up.
Okay, we can say effed up. Right.
Just don't say the real version.
Right.
We don't want those fines.
Right. Just because I have 20 million followers, I'm still a person that I still may mess up, because I'm not perfect. I thank you for trusting me with your time, your screen time, you know, but at the end of the day, if I may fall, will you still be there? And that's also good impact and influence as well, that a person will still love you at your worst as if you're at your best. You know what I mean? Because
it's a relationship.
It's because you've built it and people are following you and they don't plan to unfollow. So when it comes to ethics, I think people should just to answer your question to the point, I think people should just give these people grace.
Yes.
You know, on that. Say, okay, listen, give them the space and the respect and the celebration, but also give them the space that, listen, they're human and they may fall, and, you know, you may not feel a certain kind of way about that. So,
yeah. So the audience being more responsible.
Yeah.
Final question before we have to go to commercial break.
Okay.
I will tell you that I have been influenced with hair and makeup in those types of situations, and I can name my favorite influencers. Miss News Lady from DC, Jeanette Reyes.
Jeanette,
we all love Jeanette.
Yes,
hey, Jeanette. Hey, we love Robert too.
Yes.
So I consider, if she puts something out, I'm like, I like that makeup too, girl. I'm gonna buy it.
Right. Because she's authentic. She's real.
so authentic.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single person in DMV who could say something bad about Jeanette Reyes.
No. She gonna let you know if she don't like
Yes.
it. Like that's why I said that's my sister, because I'm the same way. I'm gonna let you know.
Yes.
You're gonna sit on my facial expression before.
And we will
say
fight
anything.
you if you say anything bad about Jeanette.
Right.
But anyway, have you been influenced by anybody on the list?
Anyone on the list? I like Jackie Anna.
Yes.
Shout out to her stylist, Amira Vanquer. How you say her
Nigerian
last name?
queen. Yes,
I love Amira. But yes, Jackie Anna, I love her because I love fashion, I love clothes, I love color, I love pattern, and I love seeing people be them best selves if that comes in fashion, and she has been representing that to the T. So I love Jackie. Yeah, she really inspires me in that room. Yeah,
and good fragrances too.
And great fragrances. And Olandria, I love her. She's very beautiful. I
Yes.
just finished season 7 Love Island. I know I'm late, but
We all love Landry
yeah.
and Jackie. Well, thank you so much. We are going to wrap up this quick portion of the show, but
Okay.
you'll be right back with us. We're going to pay a couple
I
bills.
ain't going nowhere.
I love it. I love it. You are watching Living Local After Dark. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Living Local After Dark. I am back in the studio. It's a Friday night with Hassan Thomas. Hello, friend.
Hey.
How is it going?
Friend.
We've talked about a lot of stuff.
We did.
I feel so bad for the feed room because I've been screaming into this mic. And they're probably like, oh.
Look, I'm doing everything that I can not to bang on the table because
I know,
I'm so
it's hard.
expressive. Like,
I do it too, and I'm all the things. Well, we've talked about the R&B tour.
Yes.
We've talked about influencers and Time 100's top 100 influencers. But now we got to talk about love because we talk about love and relationships every week on this
Love
show.
Vibes by Hassan and Sharice. Well,
Yes.
Sharice and Hassan.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. And I want to talk about the dating apps.
Okay.
Now, I am a senior millennial. Well,
Oh my God.
not a senior millennial. I'm a millennial. I never fooled with the apps. I was scared of them.
Hold on. Did you say senior millennial?
I feel like a senior millennial.
Okay.
I'm still a 90s baby.
Yes.
but
yes.
the AI dating space has just got a new contender, and I got to ask you all about it. Justin McLeod is the founder of Hinge. You've heard of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he's launched Overtone, which is a new app, and it's new AI-powered dating service backed up by how much money? $18 million in funding, aiming to rethink how people find meaningful connections. So as artificial intelligence becomes more and more involved in our personal lives, I love me some Chat Geppetto every once in a while, but it raises some big questions. That's his government name. Yeah, that's his government name for me.
Oh, okay. Gosh.
It raises some big questions about the future of dating, relationships, and authenticity. So, Hassan, I have a question for you.
Okay.
It's a personal question.
Oh, okay.
This is dating and living local after dark. Have you used the apps, and would you trust AI to find love for you?
So your first question, no.
Okay.
And second question, no.
Okay. No.
Hell no. Because my cousin tried to get me. I was just texting her. She was trying to get me on the app. She said, "Try Hinge, try be okay." And I said, "Well, I am okay. Try. I don't need to go online to be okay. I'm okay with the Lord on my side. Praise God." But with that, I don't know. I cannot trust a site. So if I cannot trust an automated system to, I don't even trust sometimes my friends to hook me up with a blind date. You think I'm going to trust my phone to help me? I just, or whatever it is, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah. Artificial intelligence is scary. And a lot of times people are replacing those real relationships, similar to what we talked about with influencing. Touching grass, touching people, they're replacing those relationships with AI, which is scary, and I'm really concerned for future generations to come. But have you seen dating relationships work out through the apps? And do you think you have friends who would trust AI? Do you have friends who love AI, like they talk to Chat GPT all the time?
Oh, listen, my business partner, James Harrison from Credit Alexa, yes.
Call him out.
I call him out. He always said, "Listen, Claude is my best friend." He said, "If I wasn't married, Claude would be a contender." I said, "Okay, brother, listen. For me, I appreciate Chat. I appreciate Claude. I appreciate Gemini. I appreciate everybody in the AI family. It's just
you don't have to just say that. You don't have to just say that. I don't appreciate. They're scary.
You know what I mean?
They're
But,
scary.
I like them, but at the end of the day, you still got to come behind and put some humanize the situation. So thank you, ChatGPT, for typing up my contract. Thank you, Claude, for coming up with a video. Thank you, Google Gemini, for all these things. But I still got to come back and fill those holes or whatever.
Yes.
So it definitely speed up the process.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Organizationally and whatever. But at the same time, you still need that human touch, that feel that AI just can't give you. And when it comes to dating, it's just that I'm old school. I like to say, "Hi, what's your name?" Sharice Gomez. Oh, okay, so I would like to take you out to dinner. Whatever my whatever game I'm spending at that time.
Yes.
But not to put in my phone and say, "All right, now read." Like I just
It's
can't.
weird.
I can't do that. Yeah.
And I agree with you because I think I depend on AI for science, and I think love, cooking, romance, there's some things that are arts. And I think that you need the human creativity and the human touch and a warmth to it. And to your point, I don't trust some of my friends to hook me up with people. Why would I trust trust Claude and all his friends.
Right, and all his friends and all of them. Like, no, I mean, but like to answer, going back to your question, like my cousin, excuse me, that I was just talking about, who wants to get me on Hinge or whatever, the map so bad. She met her boyfriend. They've been together for about, I think, like 14 months or something like that.
And it works for some people.
And it works for them.
Yeah.
But for a person like me, that I know I'm a lot, and it's a lot to type. That would be a lot to type, and about me.
They said, I was reading more into it, and they said that they will give you prompts and say, for instance, I'm talking to my phone, and they hear my voice inflections, and I talk, and they ask me questions like, Sharice, what do you like to do on a perfect date? And I'm like, I love this and this and this. You don't necessarily have to type. You're really, it's getting too weird, the connections that we're getting with our phones and AI for them to get to know us. Like, for instance, my husband loves ChatGPT, has like the ChatGPT Platinum, and Chat literally knows how to curate things for him. If he says, create a vacation for me and my wife, they'd be like, well, we know you love seaside resorts. We know this is your budget. We know,
and I do like that.
Yeah,
I like that it's a relationship.
It's curated.
It's curated. Like, they always says, welcome, Hassan. Like, I like as if I'm checking into my hotel room. Like, it's weird, but I like it for certain things. But when it comes to that, so let me ask you, did they say anything about like how, after I tell you who I am, what I like or whatever, blah blah blah, how's the match work? How does the match work? Did they talk about that?
They did not. So human chemistry, I think, is impossible to predict.
Right.
And the compatibility, and that's why I think the concern is. But with $18 million, I hope they figured out something.
Oh yeah, you have to. Shoot.
I hope they figured out something. But speaking of big money, please plug the people and tell the people how they can get in contact with you. Are you booked and busy? Are the books open? How can we follow you?
Well, first, guys, I am your favorite brother, Hassan. Let's just start there. No, I'm joking. But no, you can follow me on Instagram at TheRealHJT. It's at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much, Sharice, for this opportunity. I'm doing a lot right now. I've just been under the water just working, but I'm back up. And I'm doing my next Toast to the Hustle event in September, actually to kick off Fashion Week with Olmo Aiken from Musa, actually a friend of ours. And so we're doing a Welcome to Musa Week event with Toast to Hustle and him. And I got a great surprise where I would be honoring a couple of people. So please, I would love for you to be there. So I got that going on. I got a couple of projects up under Creative Legacy, which is a creative branding agency where we do digital marketing, branding, media production, all sorts. So we got some great stuff coming down in the pipeline. So yes, the books are open. The books will remain open.
I love it.
Yeah.
Omo is a good friend, way back to undergrad. That is my frat brother.
Yeah.
I love Omo. Well, I love you just as much, if not more. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope to see you next month and next month and next month.
Until November.
Until November, because then I'm going home, and I might start up a podcast at the house.
Yes, you have to. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I just want to say this to you before you end, that I'm so excited for you. I'm really excited and elated and happy and interested to see how you allow the Lord to enlarge your territory.
Yes.
Not just at home, but just here, and just keep receiving the blessing. Keep moving forward, whether it's this or whether it's anything personal. Like, I'm really loving this space, and thank you so much, and it's good to be here.
Thank you so much. Enlarge my territory, Lord. I'll take it. I receive it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon.
See you soon.
Very soon. Yes. Everyone, take care of yourselves. Don't drink and drive. Have a good Friday night. Thanks for joining us for Living Local After Dark. We'll see you next week.